Here we are beginning the new chapter, the chapter 1. Now here that is deals with genetics. So first chapter we will be dealing with Mendel and his contribution. Now basically in genetics, if we deal with, Mendel is considered to be as a father of genetics. He was born in 1822 and basically he was a mathematician. He was an expert in mathematics and he was a priest by profession. So, but he worked on Pisum sativum, that is a sweet pea plant, and worked for 6 years on these plants. But you know, when he was alive, his theories never got recognition. Now, why his theories not got recognition? Firstly, since he was an expert in mathematics, biologists thought could not retaliate or could not tally his work with from biology to mathematics, but he did things in such a precision that it was out of question of doubt. Okay, now but you see, after 16 years of his death, other scientists who pursued his work and it was published, and there was other reason for not publishing his work, because that time the media was not so active, the local journal also never published, so he never got recognition in his lifetime. But after his death, after 16 years of his death, he got recognition and his things was noted to be a profound work, okay, beyond comparison. So now what he worked on was Pisum sativum, and one thing was that he never used the term genes. He used the word as factors instead of genes, and he said that there were certain factors that was responsible for the transmission of characters from one generation to other. So factors later on was coined the term genes. Okay, now why he had so many plants? Now why was this sweet pea plant selected for him? Now see, there are so many reasons why he selected this Pisum sativum or the sweet pea plant. Now if you see here, since he was a mathematician, he did things in a very precise manner. So first, the selection of the contrasting characters. For example, tall and dwarf. These are two extremely contrasting characters, and it would be same for everybody. For example, a dwarf plant will be dwarf to everybody and a tall plant will be tall to everybody. So two contrast characters. Then white and purple again. Okay, so this were the one of the vital factors behind his success. Now, what was the reason for his success? What made Mendelism such a prominent one? See, 7 prominent characters he took, and another thing was his sample study was a large size of sample study, because all the data was analyzed in a systematic process and no reference to linked gene. Okay, so this was one of the greatest achievement of Mendelism, okay, or Mendelian theory. Now now this is very important. Why did Mendel select the pea plant only? See, reasons are, see here, it is a very precise one. Why did Mendel choose the pea plant? See carefully. Now see, first is the pea plant has got, sweet pea plant is got a very short lifespan. It survives only for 3 to 4 weeks, and within this 3 to 4 weeks it flowers, fruits, and it dies. Now you see, the flowers can be self as well as cross fertilization is there, or cross pollinated. Okay, and the contrast characters, 7 contrast characters that he chose to it, is very precise and does not link with one another, and seeds do not show dormancy. As soon as the plant grows away, the seeds can germinate and large number of seeds can be produced. Okay, now we come to the characters that is responsible here. Now what are the various characters? See, characters he took as dominant characters and recessive character. Now what is dominant character? Dominant characters are characters that is shown phenotypically. Phenotypically means externally these characters are visible, and recessive means these are not visible to you. That means this character obviously predominates the other. So obviously any time if this gene of a dominant gene is present, so this character would be dominating the other, and this would be only visible externally. For example, the first character he took as tall and dwarf. So, okay, tall and dwarf. Then the position of the flower is, if it is axillary and terminal. See, axillary, that means it is at the top of the, it is at the axil. Axil of a plant means it is between the branch and the main stem. That is axillary, and terminal means at the top. So top, if the flower is there, this plant has got recessive. Now purple color is a dominant gene. White color is responsible for recessive gene. If the pod is round, round means swollen, okay, and the pod is wrinkled, that means, pod means the pea fruit inside the cover, so that is known as pod. So that is round and wrinkled. Okay, for example, if the pod is like this, okay, this is, pod is like this, so you call it as a round one. And if it is wrinkled, okay, so if the skin is wrinkled, so that means you call it as a wrinkled pod. Okay, now the another character you find here is a green color. If the pod, the color of this skin, if the color of the skin is green in color, that means this is a dominant one. If the color is yellow, that means it is a recessive one. And again, if we come to the seed, if you find round seeds, they are again dominant characters. If you find wrinkle seed, this is again a recessive character. Now if the seeds are green, again dominant, and if the seeds are yellow, this is again recessive. So this is these are the few contrasting characters that Mendel followed, and that gave him the contrasting and undisputed results, and whoever followed them got the same result generation after generation. Okay, so in my next class I would be dealing with the various terms that is important in genetics. Okay.